just hone in on the most base, nasty, and ugly in all capacities. And someone's gonna say, you can't fucking say it. No, I'm just gonna say it and keep it real. I mean physically ugly, I mean spiritually ugly, I mean fucking financially ugly, violence ugly. It's a whole lot of fucking ugly, man. Like when I say a lot of, I mean it's just ugly, bro. Like it's as literally as ugly as a fucking Haitian slum. In respect to, I'm not trying to hate on Haiti, but look, it's as think picture this. It's as ugly as a Haitian gutter slum with rotting seafood, poop, shit, and dead bodies in it. So just picture that, right? It's as ugly as that. It's as ugly as fucking maggots and cans and plastic bottles and human feces and poverty and the stench of poverty and drugs, and it's that ugly, bro. It literally is that. It is that. So what I'm trying to say is this: is why. My question is this. My question is, why is it that us as a race of black people, and I'm just using that as an umbrella term because I know there's different races. I know there's different types of black people. I get it. I know there's different types of fucking Negroes, right? And I'm just one of them that has a mixture of different genes from different places in is a Negroid, right? So what I'm trying to say is this, right? I'm trying to ask the question of what the fuck really went wrong. I have to, someone's gonna say, well, what are you even fucking talking about? This is just a lot of hot air. Where are you just rambling? Where are you no, listen to what the fuck I'm saying. At what fucking point in time did black people, cause I have to be real, this shit, I'm just gonna be real. This shit to me seems way more than a fucking coincidence. Like, this shit seems to me like some hex shit, man. To be real, it feels like some hex type of shit. It feels like some curse shit. Like, seriously. I almost don't want to believe that the reason why us as blacks are so fucking unsuccessful is because on average we're less attractive, on average we're poorer, on average we're what's the word, in areas that aren't as accessible, or even developing countries. Or I don't want to believe that the reason why there's so much negative fucking energy spewing out and in of black people is because it's the way that we look, the way that we were raised, our cultures, the way that we act, talk, dress, the things we tend to like, all this shit you could think of, our, you know, upbringing, area, poverty, you know, because you know you can't make it because it's like you can't get the you can't get the necessities so to get anywhere, and you can't get anywhere because you can't get the necessities, and then the area you live in is plagued with drugs, gang violence, and fucking rape, every horrible thing you can imagine. You know, like I don't want to believe that like that's really all that it is, because it can't just be all of, now it can be all, okay, I'll say it can be all of that, right? It can be all of that, but it also, you have to understand that it can be maybe not all of that. Like maybe it's some of that, but maybe there's more to it. Maybe that's the question I'm asking, right? And I'm only asking that question because why? Okay, why? Someone say, why you ask this question? Well, why? I'll tell you why I'm asking this fucking question. I'm asking this question because I'm a spiritual person and I'm a Satanist. I'm not a Christian. I'm not like some other like what do you call mainstream religion type of person. So I'm not that. But I, as a satanic person, and as a person who's trying to learn about the Goetia, the demons of the Goetia, and all that, what I'm trying to ask is this: is I'm trying to ask, like, is there like, seriously, was there some type of fucking curse that was going on? Was there some type of like, all I know is this, man. All I know is black people fucked up at some point horribly. And I'm not just talking about slavery, because we do know that us with the slavery shit was us fucking up horribly. And someone will say, well, you can't speak on that. And you can't say what you would do if you were in their shoes. And look, motherfucker. If I was in their shoes, my ass probably would have been so young that my stupid ass probably would have been born into it. So I probably would have been born on a fucking plantation. So it wouldn't have been like I know anything else. It would have been like and I'll put it like this. If I was some African some African in Africa somewhere, and let's say they sold me out, and then they had some guys come and subdue my ass, and then tie me up or chain me up or whatever, and then I'm thrown in there with all the other motherfuckers, and they're like, I don't know where I'm going, and you just know that you got fucking snatched and grabbed, and your ass is fucking detained, and you're about to be taken somewhere, and you don't know what the fuck's going on. All you know is you're seeing white motherfuckers you've never seen before. If that was the case, then what could I do? You know what I'm saying? It's like I could do a couple things. I could rebel so much to the point that they fucking castrate me, cut my fucking hands and feet off. You know what I'm saying? Get hung, get burned alive, fuck some crazy shit. Or maybe just fight so hard that literally I have to get fucking impaled by something or killed or some shit or shot or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Or beat up or whatever the fuck to death or whatever. So you could go out like that, I guess. But this is my thing, right? My problem is this. The problem I have is this. Is a couple things. Number one is that some person sold out. Obviously, someone sold out their own people, and that's how it really happened. But on top of that, there were some people that they did not fight. They did not fight hard enough. They went with it. Is what I'm saying is, and it's look, and I'll say it's understandable. I mean, do you want to get fucking horribly murdered, killed, tortured, raped, and every other thing because you just decided that you were not going to what's the word? You were not going to go along with the program or whatever. Like you're gonna try to fight every time they whip you. They won't. You're not gonna let them break you. Every time they tell you this, you're going to just take the punishment, and then you're just gonna keep fighting. Eventually, your ass is gonna get killed. Like I said, your ass is gonna get killed, castrated, fucking torch. It's gonna be horrible. So what I'm saying is it's not gonna be nice. It's gonna be fucking horrible. So you're gonna wish that you're dead soon quicker. You know what I mean? And you're probably at that point trying to get yourself killed because that's your escape is to get killed. Or you could live the shit out like many of us did. You did what they fucking told you. They put the fucking fear of God in you, and you did whatever the fuck they said. Whatever the fuck that was. No matter how degrading, no matter how whatever it was, you just did what they said. So what my question, but besides slavery that happened, my question, and I often wonder, like, what would the world look like if slavery never was? I have no clue what it would look like. I really don't know. And the sad thing is this. The sad thing is I don't have a lot of faith in us as a race to believe that we would be some fucking fake ass what's it called, Wakanda fucking Marvel bullshit utopia in any capacity. I don't believe that we would, or we would be like Europe or something. But I don't necessarily believe that. And I say that because I'll say it just seems to me that we're not just angels. That's how I'll put it. Like, us as black people, we're not no fucking angels, bro. So it's more like, however shit happens, we're going to I hate to say it, but what I'm saying is I feel like however it happens, we are bound to fuck up. We are just bound to fuck up. And I'm not gonna say it's because we are black. Like it's like, oh, and inherently we just have something in us to where we are just going to fuck up. We're just like impulsive pit bulls, and we will just always fuck something up because we just bound to fail. We just fuck it up. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's not because we're black that we're just gonna fuck up. It's because we're human that we're gonna fuck up. You get what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is this, I'm trying to say human beings, we have a capacity to be impulsive, stupid, make rash decisions, get hasty, and then do dumb shit. And that goes for every race. The only difference between us and white people is white people have grasped the success. What I mean is they have held out. Like, for instance, that decision where one person was like, oh, am I going to keep my job, keep my mouth shut, know that I actually could knock this motherfucker's jaw off of his face, because I'm that guy, but that's my boss, and I need to feed my kids, and I need to, protect my wife, and I need to keep us stable. Am I going to just say fuck it, knock that guy's fucking jaw off, then go out in the street and then get high, and then like next thing you know my wife leaves me, next thing you know the kids are split up, next thing you know there's no money in the account that's for the future of any of these kids, next thing you know. See, the difference is some person, just being honest, the white person said, you know what, I'll just take the L. Like I'll just walk on. I'll just walk it off. I'm not even gonna address it. I'm just gonna let him talk to me like any fucking type of way. I'm just gonna take, the pain of being disrespected like that, and I'm just gonna go home and just fuck my wife like everyone else does. I'm just gonna blow the steam off some other way. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna be grateful for my wife. I'm gonna fuck my wife's brains out. Then I'm gonna go on a fucking fishing in hunting thing with my friend Dave, and and then we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about how, man, I swear if we were out here I would have knocked his fucking jaw and his eyeballs out of his head, right? And you would have. But the point is this: the point is, like I said, because you decided to have discipline and self-control. You didn't. You didn't do that. And also, because you actually don't want to be shunned and disowned and by the entire fucking neighborhood and your uncle and this person and that person, because you don't want to be shunned by people, and you don't want to be a fucking bum, and you want something for your kids and yourself, you stuck it out and you did what you're supposed to do, right? Just like the Jews. You did the same thing. You stuck it out. You did. I'll put it like this. It's not because you had the most astronomical, and this is going to make some black people so mad. It's not because you had the most astronomical advantage is why you had the self-control. It's because you had the fucking self-control. If you had the astronomical advantage, we wouldn't really know. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't really know if you had the advantage or not. All I know is this. All I know is that you had enough self-control over your fucking self that you were able to be successful. And I can't knock you for that. See, that's the thing. That's just what I have to say about that. Like, I can't knock any race for that. I can't knock the Jews. I can't knock the Asians. I can't knock the various Caucasians. I can't knock anybody for that. Because if you accomplish success because you had fucking self-control, then I can only respect that. Because you did the work. You put the work in. You did the work. You didn't take the other route, and you actually did something, right? Now, did you suffer emotionally from that? Probably yes. You may have psychological problems from that because you didn't have enough release, maybe. So I don't know. Maybe you're a horrible person too. Like maybe you beat your fucking wife or something. I don't know. Maybe that's so that's not good. But the point I'm trying to make is this. The point is, my whole point is this: is that us as black. I'm gonna say it again. Us as blacks have had a history of fucking up, and I will be real. To this day, we consider to fuck up astronomically. We continue to fuck up. We continue to fuck up, right? We continue to fuck up. And I also have to say, one of the reasons why, like, someone's like, well, how do we fuck up? What do you mean? How do we fuck up? I'm about to fucking tell you. So, one of the ways is this, right? I'm just gonna be honest. I hate to say it, but I'm just gonna be honest. It's gonna sound cliche, but this is one of the ways you fuck up, right? So one of the ways we fuck up is that the fact that you have an astronomical, disgusting number of black women that have taken on traits, personality traits, and habits that off-put the most hardest fucking you could be the hardest black fucking man. And some people, us as blacks, we always try to pride ourselves on how black we fucking think we are. You don't even know what the fuck black is. You don't even know what it is. You think you know what it means to be. You don't even know what it means to be black. You don't even understand genetics. You don't even understand history. You don't even understand how do I say this? You don't even understand the whole the metaphysical in extraterrestrial aspect of like how genes get manipulated and things get manipulated right under people's, under your nose. And then you think like, oh well, the history books, you don't have any fucking clue. So you don't even know what the fuck black is, first off. But you could be the blackest, hardest motherfucker, the most realist, blackest motherfucker, and you can't stand black women. You may even be, you could either be astronomically attracted to them, or maybe you're like myself to where it's like, I like a few of them, I like them sometimes, but they're not necessarily the first thing on my list that I necessarily think, oh yeah, I'm going to go for to want to fuck. It's usually other races of women. It's usually white, Asian, Hispanic, and other types of other variants of things. But the thing is this, if you're one of those guys to where like, oh yeah, you just love black bitches, you're just like, yeah man, that's my favorite thing, that's my favorite dish is a black chick, I don't care what type of black, that's my go-to, that's the first thing I go to, right? But then guess what, you can't stand their fucking personality. You like aspects of their personality. Like, you like the fact that you can relate to them because you're both black. You like the fact that they were probably raised in the same hood, the same area, the same city, the same fucking farm, wherever the fuck you come from. The same cul-de-sac, if you're living in fucking cul-de-sac and you're black. But it's like, you like the fact that you feel so connected to her because it's like she's like your fucking mom or something. It's like she's like your auntie or your she's you like that. You like that feeling. Like I said, you like that warm and fuzzy familiar, like you like that shit, right? Like people like that. But this is the problem. The problem is, but you can't stand her fucking personality. You can't stand the fact that she is so masculine that bitch has you about to wring her neck because she tries to challenge you at every turn as if like she thinks she's a fucking man too. Like she's like, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'll knock your fucking block off. Like, just stop it. Like, stop it. Stop the bullshit. Like, why are you challenging me? It's like, why do you think that you can try to assert dominance over me? I'm the fucking man, bitch. Like, do you understand? Do you get the actual point? Like, do I have to abuse you for you to get the point? Like, are you my little sister or are you my fucking girlfriend or wife? It's like that. It's like, are you my fucking what do you call it? My younger brother or something, or cousin or something? Is this a bad? Or are we both dudes? It's like, is this a fucking macho man fight? Like, is this a fight or something? You know what I mean? It's like you're thinking like, goddamn, like, cause you act like a fucking man. Cause you act like you're a fucking man. It's like, this, did you realize that I'm straight, right? Like, did you realize this is a male-female relationship, right? This isn't, you do realize that, right? So, my point is, that's the type of shit that countless dudes go through. That's the type of shit that countless dudes go through. Then you have this thing of, you get like black women. And this is not just bad. Someone's gonna say, well, what about the men? I already fucking talked about the men. I already talked about us, basically. I already did, if you were listening. No self-control, taking the gangster route, taking the violent route, the shit that's gonna send you to jail route. shit that's gonna get you thrown out the hell, shit that's gonna get you out in the streets depressed, get high, lose everything. You take that fucking route, that's the route that a lot of us as black men will take. That's not the route you want to take. Ever. You just don't. And I'll even say this, if you do take that route, then be good at it though. If you know, it's like if you're gonna take that route, be like 50 Cent or something, right? Be 50 Cent. You know who 50 Cent is, right? Be a gangster rapper, successful story. Not saying you even have to rap, but just like I don't know, you could even become like a fucking banker or something if you want to. You could be a drug dealer and you could probably become a banker or something, you know, or become a fucking a salesman or a doctor or something. Like you could. But the thing is this, my point is, if you're gonna do some hood shit, you're gonna do some gangster shit, you're gonna do all this thug shit, it just hope that you're good at it and hope that you actually make some money, right? Just I don't know. But what my problem with the whole thing is it's too many of us. It's just too many of us that take that route. Like I said, it's easy. Okay, it's easy to sell drugs, right? Which is actually not. But for some people, it's easy. Some people have a knack for a lot of things, and they don't always have knacks for good things. So sometimes it's easy to sell drugs. So yeah, you sell drugs. You know, you make more money than your fucking high school teacher. Like you're in high school and you're making more money than both your father made ever and your high school teacher makes because you're successful with selling drugs. It can happen, and it does happen, right? That's my point. But it's not. The thing is this: it's not good. It's not legal, and it's not a long term. It's not a family business. That's what I'm trying. It's not. It's not a long term family fucking business that you're gonna pass down. It's not. It's not. So, what I was saying about black women is this. What I'm saying is, black women are not always that stereotypical black woman, right? They're not always like, oh yeah, I'm combative. I have something to prove. I like to stir up trouble because I'm half of a fucking man. Someone's gonna say, whoa. Whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean half a man? No, look. I mean that you are so masculine. First off, you look fucking masculine as fuck. I'm just gonna say. They're like, oh, you know, guys, you're gonna start crying or something now, like, because I said it. Yeah, bitch, you look like a fucking dude. Your face looks like a dude, bro. You have a man face. It's kind of like you got every negative feature. You didn't get. It's like this. It's like you didn't get enough masculine features if you was a man. Your jawline's fucked up. Everything else is fucked up. And then you didn't even get enough feminine features, even though you're born a female, to be an attractive female. So you look fucked up as fuck already. Oh shit. I don't want to say it like that, but I just had to say it like that. So you're not all black chicks look like that either. Because there's some gorgeous black chicks that they don't look like that. But I'm saying for those of you that do, I hate to say it's like, you know your ass is ugly. You know your ass is ugly. And you are. Fuck. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. It's like, when I look in the mirror, bro, I know my flaws, and I'm like, nigga, you ugly as fuck. I'm like, nigga, you look like a fucking, what's the word? I don't even know what to call it. Like, you look like a fucking, a black alien. Like, you look like you look like a black negroid version of a fucking of a fucking alien that stepped off of a fucking mothership, off of a fucking ship, off of a fucking saucer, bro. I mean, hate to say it, but I'm just being real, because I just have to say that. Someone's like, oh, what do you think about yourself then? Well, I just fucking told you, bro. So what I'm trying to say is this: but I understand that. Look, we all have flaws. It is what it is. I'm not gonna go in a corner and go in denial about every flaw about my fucking physical appearance, and then go into denial about every fucking physical attribute of my fucking race, and be like, oh, this can't be true, so it's not. It is fucking true. The fuck are you talking about? It is true. Do you get my point? You can't deny it and just be like, oh, well, no. It is what it is, bro. So what are you gonna do about it? Is my question. My question is this: is what the fuck are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna change? What are you gonna try to change? What are you gonna try to improve on? Right? Like what are you gonna try to improve on? Are you just gonna sit there and you're just gonna accept it, or you're just gonna act like it's not there, or are you gonna try to improve on things if you can? Right? So, like I was saying, you get these black chicks that they think they're fucking men. Okay, so femininity is lost on them. They're like they don't know what femininity is if it smacked them in the fucking face. So it's like, okay, so I'm a man now. No, bitch, you're not a man. You may even look like a man, but bitch, you're not a man. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm a man. I'm hard too. Look here, bitch. You probably are hard, and I applaud you for that because I'm gonna keep it real. I like bitches that are like, and I'm talking about not physical features. I'm talking about like their personality. I love bitches that are like soft, that are white bread as fuck, that or they don't want to fight. They're scared to fight. They're soft little pussies. They may talk a good game, but they got nothing fucking going on. They're soft as fuck. I love bitches like that, and I love bitches that are gangster. I love bitches that are hard. Okay, I love bitches that just as quick as I'll be ready to fucking hurt somebody, or just as quick as I'll be plotting on somebody, and I'll have no fucking remorse. Like I'm like, you know what? I just don't want to get caught. Like I just don't want to go to jail. I love my freedom, but I am heartless. I just said it. I've said it before on my channel. I'm evil. I'm evil as fuck. Right? I'm empty. I'm an empty vessel. I'm demonic. I'm evil. But I also am trying to say this. If a bitch is the same way, I love that shit. Because you know what that tells me? It tells me, oh man, this bitch looks good. She's fun. Her personality is great. She loves me, or she likes me. She treats me right. But guess what? She's not ever gonna be so so soft that she's like looking at me like I'm a monster. That's why I love bitches that are actually gangster and hard and violent and can do all and actually can back up some of the shit they say that are violent like that and evil. And that's one of the things that I'll admit. That's one of the things that I love about black chicks. That's one of the things about some of them. I love that shit. I love that shit. Like I love it. I love it to death. Because that means like you're not gonna look at me like I'm a fucking monster. you know, some people look at me and they're like they understand what's actually going on. They're like, oh, you're a monster. Like you don't even look that intimidating, but you are a monster. You're a fucking monster, and I am. But look at this, right? Just listen. My point is this: is it's not fun when that bitch always wants to try to challenge you. It's like it's not enough for her to just understand. Like, look, we know what this is. Like, just keep the peace. Let's just enjoy this. No, but she wants to challenge you because something inside of her is fucked up. There's something fucked up in her that she thinks it can be any other way, or she wants it to be some other type of way, right? And that's a problem. So with all that being said, excuse me, I got fucking gas. I got gas, hiccups, and indigestion. Fuck. I'm eating bagels. I'm eating bagels right now, and I'm eating them because I want my carbs to be up, and I don't want to be deficient in carbs, so I'm eating bagels, and I don't have rice, so there's no rice to cook, so I'm eating bagels, man. But what I'm trying to say is this: is that's one way that we fuck up. It's cultural. It's a cultural issue. It's cultural. It's kind of like the it's kind of like the aspect of how do I just describe this? It's kind of like the concept of, you know, deep down what it takes to get a result, but you will not grow up enough to just do it. You're like, okay, I like, maybe there's another way. Maybe there's another way, but often there's no there's no other way. So you just have to bite your fucking grit your teeth, bite the fucking bullet, and do what you know you have to do to get XYZ done in the right way. And that may even be realizing that, like, for instance, you are the woman in this relationship. You are not the man, clearly. And then for the man, it's like you have to realize, I'm the man in this relationship. I have to make sure that I do XYZ to keep this thing rolling smooth and to make sure there's some level of success here. Like, maybe you don't even want to have kids, like myself. I don't want to have kids. I don't give a fuck about kids. I just want to be happy and have a nice wife and enjoy her and have a nice fucking future, right? That's all I want. But I realize that, like, there are things that I may have to do which takes maturity for that to be a reality, right? And I think I'm going to close soon because this shit has gone on way too fucking long. What I'm really trying to say is this. The question is this, man. And I talked about, like, a lot of domestic shit and a lot of physical shit and looks and all this stupid shit. I talked about all that, but really, the real question is spiritual. The real question is it's actually spiritual. The spiritual question is this. The question is, what is it that we've done so wrong as a race of black people? You know what? I may even put this into two parts because this has gone on too fucking long. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this into two parts because it's gone on too long. So my question is this. My question is, what have we done as a black negroid fucking race? Wherever the fuck you're from. I don't care if you're from Haiti, you got genes from Africa, you got genes from fucking Jamaica, you got African genes, and you're a fucking Afro Latino person or whatever. You know, you wherever the fuck wherever the fuck type of Negro that you are. You know, why is it that, like, what went wrong? It's a serious question. What in every way, what genetically, what spiritually, what the fuck went wrong, horribly wrong, that us as a because we're not even things this, we're not the world, we're just black, we're not the fucking the world, we're just a certain type of human being, like we're just a aspect of human genes, like we're just a part of it, we're just a certain a weird specific part of genes of a human being, like we're not the world. But what I'm saying is, us is that are black, or that you identify yourself as black because, you know, you have this concentration of these African genes that has, you know, are very concentrated, which that's what I would call, would make you, what I would say is black. You know, you have these certain genes. So my question is this. My question is, what the fuck went wrong? Like, really, what went wrong? What the fuck actually happened? Because I think on this sometimes. Like, literally, I wake up sometimes from some crazy fucking dreams, and I'm like, why am I dreaming about that? Like, that's actually disturbing as fuck. Like, I'm dreaming about segregation. I'm dreaming about that I wake up and I try to go to the fucking the bank or something, or I'm in the old classroom and it's a time period of segregation or some shit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, there's something wrong here, man. Like, seriously, like, I'm not even saying in my personal life, but I'm saying as a race, like, there's something had to be done. Like, what I mean by done is, this is gonna sound crazy, and this is gonna sound crazy as fuck, but I'm going to say it. There had to be some point in time, there had to be, Maybe. I'll actually take that back. My emotions make me say there had to be, but in reality, it doesn't necessarily mean that. But what I'm saying is, I feel that there's a possibility that we angered some gods, or we angered someone, something. We brought some type of bad, we must have brought some type of misfortune upon ourselves through generational curses and generational behavior. Like, we must have did it somehow. I don't know if it's because we became Christians. I don't know if it's because we became Jews. I don't know if it's because we decided we wanted to be Hebraic or Hebrew, or we decided we wanted to act like we were fucking Jews. You know, I have no issue with the Jews, but this is the thing. Right? I have no issues with them. At all. I have no issues with Jews. But you know what my fucking problem is? My problem is this, man. My problem is when you take a religious group or a religious God-centered, because it's always some bullshit. It's always this God. It's always this God thing. It's like, you know, it's Jehovah, or it's Yahweh, or it's you just call him God, or it's always some fucked up shit. And what happens is you take that shit in once that I'm just serious. I'm being dead serious. And listen to when I say this. You get some fucking Negroes, and some will be successful. Like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian now, or oh yeah, I'm Jew now. You know, and I keep the feast and festivals. I'm an Israelite now. I'm a black Israelite. I'm this. I'm that. I'm that. You when you take that type of shit, sometimes they're successful, right? 98% of the time, I would say they're never fucking there. It ruins generations of Negroes, bro. It ruins it. It ruins us. It destroys us. You can't take that fucking Christian shit. And I say Christian because all Christian is a watered down bullshit version of some other religion, in some other religion. But what I'm trying to say is, usually when you try to mix that in with us, it just does not work. It doesn't work. There's no potency there. It don't work. Now, why it doesn't work a lot, I don't know. I'm not saying it doesn't always work, because there are some people who they seem to manifest things, and they're calling themselves Christians, they're calling themselves Jews, they're calling themselves this, they're calling themselves that. So I'm not saying that it's impossible for a human being to manifest something positive and be successful, prescribing to a dogma, practices, ritual of some god, like some god shit. I'm not saying that, because sometimes they can. What I'm saying is, usually it never fucking works, and it's a recipe for just complete disaster. For disaster, man. For complete fucking disaster. So that's one thing. But my question is this. My question is, what did we disconnect ourselves from? See, that's my real question. What did we disconnect ourselves from? Because it feels like we had to have disconnected ourselves from something that was very powerful. And there had to be a point, because it always works like this. There had to have been a point in history and time to where we had a choice. People had a choice to open themselves up to something, to allow something to happen in some type of way, to integrate, to work with something. And they had that fucking chance. It always repeats itself. This is always a thing. They had a fucking chance at some point, but they fucking blew it somehow. Somehow they fucked it up. Whether that was because of fear, whether that was because of corruption in power, whether that was because of someone thought they were being good, thought they were doing the morally right thing, and they thought it would be evil to go over and do this or that, or to let this in, or to let this come in and integrate, or to do this or whatever. Or, like, it really could be as simple as, like, the old gods that we used to worship, the old things we used to do, the old rituals, the old practices we used to have, gave us a very metaphysical, very spiritual, very real connection to something, and we cut that shit off, and we fucked it, up. Or we tainted it. We maybe we how do I say this? We probably um we watered it down. You know, we threw fake shit in. We tried to pass it off to look a certain way. We tried to sell it. You know, we tried to hide it for ourselves. Maybe we just so we did something wrong that literally, because I believe in curses. Curses are not fake. I do know curses are real. And a curse can be something that can be brought upon yourself by simply disrespecting or dishonoring something that's very, very powerful. It's a real thing. It can happen. It can happen. Right? This is something that can actually happen. So my question is this. My question is, what did we do? Because I already know what we've done. I know that we generationally decided that we are going to adopt habits that lead to destruction and detriment. Like, we were going to go the gangster route. We were going to steal. We were going to sell drugs. We were going to cook drugs. We were going to teach and train how to sell the drugs. We were going to do gang banging. I don't mean it like that either. I mean gang banging. I mean, you know, banging. Like, you're in a gang. You know, you have an operation that's within a gang. I'm not talking about your gang banging like you're like five guys fucking one girl, even though we do that too and everything else. But what I'm saying is, as blacks, I know what we have done, like what we've clearly done in that regard. Like, I know that. We all know that. Everyone knows that. But what I think we don't know, which I'm just speculating on, is like, you know, it just seems to me like there's no way that a race in a group could fuck up so bad. There is no fucking way. Just how? Tell me how. How the fuck can this just happen? This shit is a effect of too many things over a long fucking period of time. I don't know if it's as simple as like, and I'm just gonna fucking cut it off because I've spoken too much. I've ranted too much. This is bullshit. I don't know if it's as simple as when the fucking Europeans were all, yay, hippy dippy dippy, we're hippies, we're looking for, you know, we're looking for what do you call, outside of ourselves, you know, we're looking to have spiritual experiences, we're taking psychedelics, we're fucking, you know, all that shit. We're trying to contact ancient gods, we're trying to fucking conjure things up, we're trying to contact aliens, we're trying to, you know, maybe it was when they were, you know, getting all freaky and crazy, which is a good thing, that they were trying to do all that shit because they're trying to, like, it's almost like they're trying to transcend their existence is what they're doing. It's like they're thinking, okay, well, I know what I see, I know what I do know, but there has to be something more. So I'm going to open myself up to whatever else is, you know, things that are out there, instead of being fearful and saying, oh, well, you know, it's forbidden, it's terrifying, we're not doing this. You know, it's like, it could have been that simple. I don't know. You know, it could have been that they were chosen. I'll just be real. It could have literally been that. It could have been that they were chosen to a degree, that some higher being decided, or beings decided that they wanted to interact and integrate and do this with more Caucasians, because they saw that they were in a higher state of development, which they always sort of have been. And it's not, some people say, well, how can you say that? Look here, man. You don't like to hear that because it hurts your feelings. Because in your mind, in your little pea brain, because that's what it is. You know, you're thinking with this little pea, you're thinking, that makes me nothing but a outdated jungle monkey. You're like, so you mean to tell me that I'm just a Negro jungle monkey, and the white people were more advanced and they just, you know, had more complex genes, or they had more modern genes? You mean to tell me that they were ahead already, and they were ahead, so they got chosen? Look, bro, If that's what happened, that's what the fuck happened. If that's what happened, it's what happened. I mean, we're all, first off, we're all fucking monkeys already. So, you know, you really have to pay attention to genetics and understand, to a degree, we really are all fucking some type of little apes. You know, it's just that I've spoken on this before. You have people with different type of genes, and then you have people with different type of genes. You got people with more primitive genes in genetic features in genes, and then you have people with more refined genes and features. And how that happens, like I said, how that happens is selective breeding, isolation, and mutation. Really, is gene mutation, selective breeding, isolation, right? And then necessity. You also have to realize necessity. If you live in a certain area and your people's brains are open to certain things and concepts, and they're used to thinking in a certain way with their brain, like they're used to thinking, okay, well, we understand, this is how we understand math. Okay, this is how we understand agriculture. This is how we understand. If you keep fucking breeding on top of that and on top of that and on top of that and on top of that, things are going to fucking happen. Mutations are going to happen. Okay, things will happen. If you're isolated in a certain area to where you don't do that, people don't think like that. People don't act those things out. People don't generally have those type of thoughts, and if they do, it's not like a mainstream thing, and it's not bred on top and on top and on top. It's just the way it works. You know, you're not going to be, for instance, you're not going to be pale as fuck because you live in a crazy sun baked area, and you are not going to be dark as fuck because you live in some cold ass area. Do you get what I'm saying? It really comes down to that. It's not like you're thinking, oh, but this is the problem. The problem is, as a black person, you feel inferior. People don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. You feel inferior because you just have a different set of genetic and physical traits. It's like it's slightly you have a slightly different. It doesn't mean it's useless or mean that it's so primitive that you're a monkey. It doesn't mean that. It means you're just different, and you're different because that's how genetics work. Just like, for instance, I will never have and I wouldn't want this either, but I'm just saying, like, I would never have blonde hair, obviously, because I'm a fucking Negro. I'm Negro, so Negro that it ain't ever gonna happen. I wouldn't want it anyway. I don't even think if I was a white man that I'd want blonde hair. So the point I'm trying to make is this. The point is, the genes are what the fuck they are, right? They are what they are. Now, have they changed a large degree? Yes, they have. You know, like, for instance, someone like myself is not the same. Fucking, some people think this, but it's not true. I'm not the same Negro that would have been a million years ago, or no, my genes are a little bit different. Okay, I have other types of genes that are in my gene pool from other races. So it's not just that cut and dry. But my point is this. My point is, there are some traits that, when they're concentrated enough, they express themselves in a certain way. So much so that they have a potency, right? And now, it doesn't always mean it's a bad thing either. You know what I mean? There's sometimes there's pluses to having some of those old African fucking genes. There are some, and half of the time it's actually very it usually expresses itself in a very athletic way anyway. So it's not really it's not necessarily a negative all the time, you know, that you have certain genes. You know, some people be like, oh, well, why is it that some of these black athletes are so... Well, it's because they're fucking genes. It's because of that. Why they're so fucking athletic, right? It's not even rocket science. It's like easy to just look at. Like, okay, I get it. You get why certain people have certain traits. It's because of the genetics. But my point is this. My point is, though, us as black people, at the end of the day, I'm not saying you have to try to become like me. Like, oh, you want to try to, you want to try to be a Satanist. You know, you want to try to be a left hand path person. You want to try to be a black magician. You know, there, that's not a pun or a punchline. It's called black. It's called black magician, not black like me. But you know, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm trying to say that give yourself, listen to me. If you don't get anything from this, what I'm going to tell you is this: give yourself the benefit of the doubt and realize this. And you have to listen hard when I say this. Give yourself the fucking benefit of the doubt that you don't have to be like every other black person that you know. You don't have to be like every fucking stereotype thing that maybe you think or people try to tell you are or have to be. Right? Give yourself open your fucking mind to the possibility that all that shit that you think is like, oh, well, that's for white people, and you know, that's for yellow people, and that's for, you know, all that, like, that spiritual shit, that's for them. Oh, we don't do that. Like, we don't do that. Matter of fact, my mom was Christian. She tells me, oh, you know, that's evil. You're inviting that into your life, and you're no. Look here. I'm not even trying to say that you may be missing out because you're not opening the idea in your brain, in your fucking soul, to the idea that something that you think is out of the realm or reach of black people, like you think, oh, that's evil. We don't do that. We don't fuck with that satanic shit. Because that's what that's what you say, like, oh yeah, we don't fuck with that. That shit is evil. That shit is crazy. We don't fuck around with that. Look here. You don't know what is good for you that you should be fucking with and that you should be saying is evil. Because you don't know what evil is. You don't even know what when you say that, you're saying what's coming out of your little fucking pea brain and your little pussy ass fearing self. Because you're on some fear shit. Like, you're afraid. That's what really it is. You're scared. That's all it really is. You're scared and you're being soft. You're being soft and you're being scared and you're saying, no, we don't fuck with that. Well, you need to start fucking with it, because the thing is this. The thing is, you don't want to, what's the word? You don't want to miss out on possibilities because you were too scared, or you thought that you were too black, or you thought you were being clever and you thought you were being smart because you did the same thing that your uncle, your grandfather, your great grandmother, your great grand, because you did the same shit that they did. And you know what? I hate to say it, but look, your fucking black ass got the same results, didn't it? And tell me if I'm wrong. You got the same results, right? You're broke, you're depressed, maybe you're selling drugs right now. Like, at this moment, maybe you're actually literally selling drugs in this point in your life at this moment. You know, you're trying to get out of a bad situation, but you think that going to church or a pastor or something is going to help you somehow. You're out of your fucking mind, man. You know what you need to do? you This is the thing. You're still black, because I know some of you're Negroes, and you are obsessed with your own race. You are obsessed with that. You have to be the blackest Negro. You think you have to be the blackest. You don't have to be the most anything. You what you want to be is, you want to be very successful. Maybe the most successful would be nice, but you don't have to be the most anything. You want success. You want pleasure in your life, right? So my thing is this. My whole thing is What you want is, you want to say, well, you know what? I'm actually going to open myself up. I'm actually going to just open myself up, because this is a thing, right? Now, some people have a hard time opening themselves up for things. Like, they have a hard time receiving things. They have a hard time. I'm actually one of those people where I have a very hard time just letting certain things happen, because I'm aggressive, violent. I am. I'm an aggressive, pushing, violent person. So it's like, I always want to make sure, okay, I have control over this, and I want it to go in that direction, right? That's how I think. Like, I want to see, okay, what bad could happen. I want to see what's the worst that could happen, what's the best that could happen, and then I want to be in control to push that shit and see, and make it go in this direction, make that happen, right? That's the type of person I am. So it's hard for me to just to sometimes just be like, okay, I'm just going to go with this wave, and just like, just go with this, and just receive what comes to me, right? Spiritually, it's hard for me to do that, because I have like all types of racing thoughts. I'm all types of impulsive. I'm all types of scatterbrain, trying to keep control over every single thing at one time, all over the fucking place, man. I mean, do I like that? No, I hate that about myself. But my point is, I'm just saying that to say, like, a lot of you people out there are like me, and you have a very angry, violent disposition. So you get angry at the drop of a hat. You get very angry and very violent and very pushy and impulsive with things. You don't want to just like relax you don't want to fucking really relax and do anything. It's like you want to just hammer things out and smash things out, and then when you're tired and when you're literally passed out, you'll relax, right? That's how you are, like me. And then literally in your dreams and in your sleep, you're literally always fighting something in your sleep. Like, if you're in a dream, you're probably fighting. If you're in a dream, you're probably fighting some type of something. Whether that's like a system, or whether it's people or a program or whatever. You're always in a violent fight or flight situation in your mind, and you never escape that. You always just seem to be on that, in that mind frame, right? Which is not good. So I get it, and I'll be real. If you're black, it's probably even hard. It's probably most likely that that's who you are. If you're in your male, if you're like me, if you're straight, you're black, you're male, you're on some straight warrior shit. You're like, you're always in that mode. You're just not, it's hard for you to calm down. It's hard for you to get calm. It's hard for you to be nice. It's hard for you to fucking not flip out. It's hard for you to not be violent. It's hard for you to always go the better route. It's just in general. But on the same coin, what you need to realize is, you need to learn, at least as a start, to open yourself up to things that you think are like evil, things that you think are dark, things that you think is, oh, that's satanic, oh, that's for white people do that shit, right? That crazy shit. You think of shit like, you think like Charles Manson, fucking, you think of stupid shit like these Hollywood bullshit. You think it's crazy white people that are axe murderers. That's how I'm really trying to say it. You think that anything dark or demonic or satanic or left hand path is some white person murder shit. Like some Marilyn Manson, Columbine, I'm gonna shoot up a school, I'm gonna murder my whole family type of shit, and I'm white, right? That's all Hollywood. That's not reality. That's not fucking reality. Reality is this. Reality is that there's forces that you could work with, right? Reality is that there's practices, there's rituals, there's things that you could get into, that you could be involved in. There's beings, right? And when I say beings, I mean things that you don't even think could ever exist. I mean beings that are flesh and blood, like that you could actually touch, that are real. Things that would scare the living daylights out of normal people. Okay, when I say that, I mean things that are monstrous. By monstrous, I mean literal fucking monsters is what I mean. Literal fucking monsters. Right? There's things that are out there. Maybe not in your city, maybe not in your general area, but there's beings and things that exist that are out in places that if you stood before them, some people would shit themselves. Because it's like you're looking at a monster. You're looking at something that came out of a fucking sci-fi movie, but they're out there, right? But this is the problem. The problem is that your mindset is programmed to fear all of that. That is the problem. Your little I'm just gonna say it. Your little fucking Negro brain, and it's not just us, it's every race pretty much, human beings in general that act like this. But your little Negro brain, bro, is terrified of not just these beings, not just flesh and blood beings terrify you, but just the spiritual aspect that you know, because you know deep down that it exists. You already, it's like some part of you already knows that. A lot of us, we already know that. So it's like, you know this. You're not someone who's dumb enough to think that it's all fairy tales, it's all folklore, it's all this. It's no, you know it's real. You just know most people don't really know that that's real. They would never think that's real. They don't want to think it's real. That's another problem. They don't want to believe it's real because it's terrifying to them, right? But you have to look at someone like myself who is a fucking monster. First off, and then second off, there's nothing out there scarier than my fucking self. That's how I look at it. I may not be physically as big and fucking what's the word, capable of things that are out there, because there's things that are out there that would rip me to shreds in seconds. But you know what's the difference between me and most people? I would laugh at that shit. That's the difference, is that I would laugh at it. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so I'm dead, right? But then there's so much more after that, right? Okay, so I got mauled to death and was never seen again. My body's missing. What happened to Steve, right? It doesn't matter. There's so much more after that. That's who I am. You do understand that? I'm the motherfucker that fears death because I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy more time on this earth. I want to experience things. I want to go places, right? I'm not the motherfucker that's afraid of dying because it terrifies me of the fact of some minutes to hours to even seconds of getting ripped apart in so on and so forth. I don't give a shit, bro. I don't give two fucking shits. And I am a monster. And if I could get away with it, I might fucking rip you to shreds. Do you understand that? That's who the fuck I am. So I don't look at anything like, oh, it's evil, it's dark. Motherfucker, I'm scared of what I'll do. And put my ass in prison is what I'm scared of. That's my mentality. That's who I am. That's who I am. And I can't say anything else about it. That's who the fuck I am. And that's not everybody. And that sure as hell is not most, I'm just gonna be real, that's not most fucking white people. That's not most civilian people. That's not anybody. That's not most people. But I'm not fucking most people. And the point I'm trying to make is this. The point I'm really trying to hit home is this, is that yeah, there's some of us that, like, you can say, oh, yeah, I'll just join the church, and I'll just do it with my grandfather. I'll just join the church now, and maybe you'll be successful. Maybe that'll bring success into your life. Then there's some people, maybe I'll just act like nothing exists, and I'll just live a mundane, boring life, and just and fine. And yeah, maybe you'll be successful. You might even be a fucking doctor. You might be something else. You might even be something illegal, and you may be successful. But what this rant really is about is, one, asking the question, Where did we go horribly wrong as black people? 2, in the current state, which is a horrible state we're in right now as a race, as black, we don't own nothing. We're broke. We're fucking in jail. We're fucking killing each other. We're fucking single. We're alone. We're unattractive. We are women. We don't want. This is the kicker, right? This is the icing on, part of the icing on the cake the black race. People don't want to talk, but I'm fucking talking about it. People are all touchy and all, oh, I don't want to. Yeah, because you don't want to hear the truth. Well, I'm fucking saying it. Us as black men aren't attracted to our women. We don't want our women. And then even some of us that are attracted to them, we don't want to fucking deal with them. Because they're just, it's almost like the attraction in the sex appeal and the fucking excitement gets old after a while, and then after a while you start putting more value in other things. Like, you're like, well, damn, I don't care how big this bitch's ass is, I don't care how good the sex is, how good this bitch can suck a dick, how, good the pussy is and all the shit she could do. I don't even care anymore. Like, I'm at the point to where, you know what, I could find someone that can have all of that shit in none of the drama. So then you start thinking like, no, it's not worth it. You're like, fuck this bitch. You're like, and as a matter of fact, not even just fuck this bitch, but I'm going to try white bitches, or I'm going to try, just fuck all black bitches, right? That's what happens to some men. Me, I think part of my saving grace is that I never was really that attracted to him. Like, I was attracted to him, but I was always more attracted to other races anyway, so I always liked those women more anyway. So it wasn't a crutch for me. It wasn't like, oh, I just can't get over it, because every time, and they just do, it's every time it fails, every time they disrespect me, they want to fight, they want to challenge me, they want to. That's a thing. But for me, that's never a thing. That's not a thing. It's never been a thing. But that's many people's crutch. So what I'm trying to say is, where do we go wrong? Our state now is fucked up. It's crazy as fuck. It's despicable. It's embarrassing. It's fucking sad. I'm tired of seeing videos of black women complaining that they want good black men and that we don't want to deal with them. And then I'm tired of hearing black guys say, oh, I don't want to deal with them because of this and so on. And I'm thinking like, bro, it pains me. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'll even be real. I'm not a person who has so much compassion and so much care for my race that it's why it bothers me so much. Do you want to know really why it bothers me so much? Do you actually want to know that? Because I'll tell you. You know why it bothers me so much? It worries me because I'm fucking black myself, bro. And like I said before, I am a maniac sometimes when it comes to like certain things that I do want to. I'm not one of those people who it's like, I want to control a woman and I'm a control freak and I want to control everything she does, says, where she goes, who she talks to. No, I'm not that. But there are certain things like within myself, and then there's certain things like spiritually that I want to control because I want power. I want success. I don't want to have some curse or some shit stuck on me that came from shit that a bunch of fucking dumb Negroes did, that comes back, that's gonna haunt me to this day now. And I'm stuck like with a generational thing because of some shit that either you did or you motherfuckers still continue to do. So that shit worries me, right? And it worries me to my fucking core. It worries me to my core. And then I'm also gonna say, because I'm black, right? Because I'm black myself, if other black people are wealthy, successful, spiritually ingrained into a certain current of things, if you will, then that means that I'm also more easily able to attach myself to that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like this. If there were black-owned businesses and all the bankers are black, all the fucking producers are black, God damn, you're like all the fucking everybody, all this is all black owned. This is a damn black person city. Well, it goes two ways. One, maybe you pissed off because now you feel like you have to compete with a fucking other black man all the time. So you're like, oh, it's not even white guys anymore. Now I got to compete with a bunch of fucking niggas. You're like, it's my own fucking race. Not even whites anymore. It's fucking Negroes. So it's like, okay, I gotta compete with literally almost like my fucking cousin because we're all black. This isn't white and black, nah. All Negroes now. This is Negro City. Literally, like it's a big broad sign that says Negro City. We're all black. So the issue is, okay, so now we have to compete again, crabs in a barrel, or maybe not. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to compete with the next guy, with the next nigga. So that's a problem. But then also, because we're all black, like I said, it's easy for me maybe to have something or to acquire something, or even maybe there's wealth that I could pass down if, God forbid, I actually do have a child or something, right? So you have to think about these things. You have to understand these are simple. These are simple concepts, but it's not simple necessarily to achieve any of this. So what I'm really trying to say is this. I'm really trying to say that look at it this way, right? Look at it like, if you're black, whatever fucking black you are, well, I don't care if you're raised in the hood, you're raised in the fucking suburbs, whatever, you were raised in a just city, urban area like myself, it, wherever you're from like some third world country, wherever, just, well, not even if just you're black, this is not just for black people, it's just, it's focused on black people, but this really goes for just if you're a human being or whatever the fuck you are. But my thing is this, it's that don't like, take this into consideration. Take into consideration that there could be a possibility that a lot of things are fucked up because black people decided that they wanted to do certain things that were detrimental to their own well-being. In actuality, what they thought was evil actually would help them and actually would bring them along in evolution and success and all of that. But instead, what they did was they shunned it all, called it evil, was terrified of every part of it, and then they just went on a certain path, and then we ended up, like how we are now, um, and how we sort of continue to be. We strive for better, like we do try, but we have pitfalls and shortcomings, so, and it's very, very easy to fall into these shortcomings. And I'll give you a little, I'll explain some things, right? So, and this is weird, but this is a part of my life, right? So as I was growing up, I always at some point in my life met, whether it was male or female, I always met a person that was in a gang. Someone will say, well, how's that? What do you mean? What do you mean you always met someone that was in a gang? I literally always met someone that was in a gang. I even had two friends that one was actually in a gang, but I don't know if it was that serious. Like, cause there's a gang, like for instance, like a Crip, right? Crips. Like you have Crips, you have Bloods, and then you have like, basically, I'm not gonna say they're not real Bloods or not real Crips, but you have versions of that basically they feel like they're affiliated with a certain part of a gang, but it's like a small time gang. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like when you're in high school. Like for instance, in high school, we had people to where they were saying, "Oh yeah, I'm East Mob. I'm blood, you know, I'm blood, or I'm Crip, or I'm this. And I'm like thinking, well, East Mob, what's that? East Mob? I thought it was Bloods, right? It's supposed to be Bloods, but you're saying East Mob. Like, what the fuck is that? What's East Mob? So my whole point is just that people can be in a gang that is necessarily not really officially a gang, or they could be in a very official, very large, very serious, dangerous gang in a city. But what my point is, one way or another, I always ended up meeting someone that was either just kind of playing around with some shit that had to do with the gang, or that someone that was actually in a gang. And it could be for like years apart, but I would always, even to this day, know someone in their family is in and or has connections to a fucking gang. And you know what I could have did? I could have gotten involved with something. And someone will say, "Oh, were you asked to?" Like, "Oh yeah, did someone ever say, 'Oh yeah, Steve, I noticed this about you, and I noticed that, and I noticed, so, like basically kind of inviting me possibly in, like, basically we'll see what you could do, blah blah, so and so, this person wants to talk to you, and look, that shit has happened to me more than once, multiple times. I could have went that route. I could have gotten involved in a lot of things, but I didn't get involved in them. The point I'm trying to make is that if something's there, sometimes it's very easy for you to get involved with something that you shouldn't get involved with, right? As a black person, I'm saying, because I mean, like I said, we have pitfalls. You know, you meet someone, you see what they're doing, maybe you want a part of it, maybe you see success from it, maybe you see money, or you see they're getting hoes, or they're getting whatever you feel is positive, and then you're like, what, I think I could do that, and the whole guise of it is, the thing is this, is that you believe, the key word is, you believe that if you did it, you wouldn't get caught, right? That's the whole key thing, is you think that you wouldn't get caught, one, and two, that you won't walk away with a fucking missing limb, maybe a missing eye, I don't know, maybe shot in the fucking face, maybe shot in your ball sack, anything, maybe shot in your stomach, stabbed, I don't know, anything can fucking happen. The point is, the guise is that you walk away in one piece and you never go to jail. Maybe you never go to jail. Maybe you walk away in one piece, right? Maybe. But on the same coin, look at this. Some shit that you think is evil and satanic and witchcraft and all that shit, that could be the key to success in your life. And then second off, it could be the key to breaking this fucking curse and curses and shit that has been on you, that it's not something you did, it's something that your ancestors did, it's something that your great grandma did, it's something that the fucking Christian Negro church that there's everyone on every fucking corner in your old stupid city did. And maybe I'm just speculating, right? There could be nothing to what I'm saying, and I'll consider that. But I also have to consider, and I think you should consider, and you should do yourself a favor, like I said, especially if you're black. Consider what I'm saying, and then you make your own decision. This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. I don't know, man. I hope you enjoy the rant, if that's even possible. I hope that you gathered vital information from it, and that you make a very educated decision based on my perspective and my opinion on what I ranted about. Especially if you're someone who is thinking about, that's you're black, especially, and you're thinking about dabbling in the left path, or you're thinking about getting into like Haitian voodoo, you're thinking about doing some, some dark shit. and you're scared, right? Because I know you're scared. It's like, come on. Everyone has fears. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's absolutely no fear in my body to the point to where I'm like, oh yeah, I just don't feel anything if I'm going to get killed, mauled, this or that. No, it's not that. The point is this. The point is it's a different type of fear. For me, it's not a paralyzing fear. It's a fear that I know what's about to fucking happen is the fear. You know, it's like I'm bracing myself to be completely destroyed and annihilated. Does that make sense to you? You know, I'm bracing myself. That's the fear. The fear is, oh shit, this is really gonna fucking hurt. And I don't know what's coming next when I die, but I do know there's something. It's a different thing. So what I'm saying is this. I'm saying to you that give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You know, give yourself a fighting chance, is what I'm saying. And stop perpetuating the nonsense. And also, you can't be afraid if someone's gonna say, oh, well, you're white because you do this, or you're not real because you don't do this, or no. What you need to understand is, you know what? Your life as a Negro, your success as a black person means more than what any person is saying to you, or what you feel people are gonna do to you, or whatever. And you also have to realize, if you got yourself in some shit that's so fucking deep that the only way to get yourself out is you're probably gonna be dead, or maybe you won't leave in one piece, well then, you got yourself into that situation. Like, I understand, I sympathize with you if that's your case, but I also have to say, and you know that you're this yourself, that you got yourself in that situation. So, this is Steve's Art and Fun channel. You know, this rant is everything it is. And I don't even know what I'm going to title it, but it is what it is. And I just hope someone out there is listening, and someone takes this to heart and actually listens to something.